I wasn't sure what to expect when we got the Chromebooks at the beginning of the year, but all the teachers are using new and creative tools for the classes, and even Mr. Walter has joined the 21st century and started using Google Classroom.
We're using our favorite site, Desmos.com, to try to guess the equation of the parabola.
Y-intercept, the vertex.
Okay, which one is the y-intercept?
These kids are coming from countries where they don't have electricity or any type of computer. And they're coming and they're using these Chromebooks and they're flourishing with all the activities and all the applications that they get to use with them.
The Chromebooks are a great resource for the ELL students to learn English. They listen to books on Tumble Books. They research for their writing workshop. They use Starfall to learn their ABCs and how to speak. They create PowerPoint presentations to give speaking presentations. They use Rosetta Stone to practice their English.
One of my biggest things is I've created a lot of videos and put on there that they then, if they don't understand it in class, they can look them up at home and figure out exactly what they need to learn to figure that out. Another big one is I put a lot of links to websites for kids to do a lot of practice problems on. And that way they can just go in and see what they're struggling with. That way they can go to those links and get a little more help.
So gizmos are basically online lab simulations, and what we use it for is really for review or to reinforce a concept that we've learned in class. And so sometimes we don't have the materials in class necessary to do a lab simulation, like for refracting light. Sometimes we don't have those things, and so the gizmos allow us to use information that we don't have access to and to further the students' understanding. And so whatever lab we can't do in class, they're doing online, and it's still interactive, and they're still going through the steps to answer questions and really apply the knowledge that we've learned in class to a different concept.
When Google Classroom was first introduced, it's like we had to change our frame of thought on how to go from a lot of paper and worksheets to using the Google Classroom, and now I have learned to do questions of the week that students have access to the questions all week and can submit them, and I can look at them. We've done projects using it. We've done articles that they read online, so they have these resources with them all times, and if they forget them, they can't forget things anymore because they have it with them.
Yeah, we pretty much use Chromebooks daily in my classroom. I would say the neatest thing we've done all year is the students use their Chromebooks to create slides that we put into the background, and we actually had anchors set up in front of the smartboard, and we did these John Green style social studies videos. It turned out really, really good, and the technology definitely made it possible. It's a project I thought about doing for a few years, but until we got the Chromebooks, it was just too hard to set up. And now that they all have their own Chromebooks, we were able to do it.
Kahoot is great for reviewing.
Ratio of boys to girls in a classroom is what kind of ratio?
You have to think fast and know your stuff when you're playing Kahoot. Every student gets their Chromebook out waiting for the first question to appear. You get points for how quickly you get the right answers, and the competition gets the whole class excited.
The Chromebooks have been tremendous with assessments. They have allowed for more formative assessments, more immediate results. I have used them a whole lot using Google Forms with the Flubru add-on. It allows me to create an assessment, give it to my students by sending them the link on Google Classroom. They take it, they show their work on paper, and then I can create an answer document and it grades it instantly. It also allows me to see trends in the results, so if there are trending questions that the students don't understand, that gives me a chance to immediately remediate and clarify anything that the students may be confused on. As for the ease of using it, it's very easy to use. It's very user-friendly. There's an add-on, GMath, that allows me to insert math equations, functions, tables, graphs, so it's very user-friendly. It has definitely made giving assessments much, much easier.
Writing like this gives you so much more flexibility, ability to jot down ideas as they come, be able to move them around later, to be able to make changes. I found that having these machines here this year just makes it so much easier. A very valuable thing if students are out, where you would get the calls in the past, the student's going to be out for several days, just had surgery, and they're trying to get some work done. It's so much easier to use this because they can pull this up at home and feel like they're not being quite as lost. And you have a reading passage, you can scan it, put it on here, let them read that. It's not open internet, so it's not like you're publishing it to the world. And I found it to be a very, very great tool for a lot of reasons.
Okay, so one of the things I've worked on quite a bit this year is using different online class management tools like ClassDojo and ClassCraft, and I've been able to combine them into something that I like. And what it lets the kids do, it lets them keep up with their progress in real time and set goals for achievements and such, and they can see that on their screen in front of them whenever they want.
Like, learning without the Chromebooks was so hard. I don't think I could ever go back to not having them. I don't ever want to go back to not having Chromebooks. I can't imagine learning without them.